What's going on, everybody? This is Boonjim Bak Choi bringing you another F1 2020 weekly event video. This week, as you can see, we're going to be doing a race at Bahrain in the multiplayer car. I know I'm in the Merc right now, but just trying to work on some practice and setups. And I was pretty shocked coming into today's practice, just because for the last 2 months or so, I think I was ranked about 2500th place in the time trial standings. And then I don't know what made me do it, but I raised the wings from the esports 2.6 wings to 3.8 wings, and as you can see right now, we're doing pretty well. I think I was at a 125.9 or 125.8 when I was at 2500th place. Jeez, I don't know why I keep saying that. 2500th, 2500th place, and then I changed to new wings. I think there was a little bit of change in the suspension geometry as well, and then I jumped up 1500 spots, and this is my current fastest lap in time trial that you're watching right now. I know the delta is still in the red, but I have a pretty good sector 3 here, and we actually jump up to, I think it's about 949th place, which is crazy. Like I said, I've been working on it for about 2 months now, trying to improve my time at this track, and now we're 949th. I'd been setting fastest laps previously, so that's why there wasn't, even though I was only like maybe 500ths of a second faster, I jumped up to 949. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. So now knowing that, I was a little bit more confident going into Bahrain. It's not one of my strongest tracks. I've been trying to work on it for my Road to 110 series, but just haven't been able to improve my time. But now I think it's looking a lot better at me completing that video, now that I know what setup I need to drive well. So I did a couple of practice runs in the weekly event, and we're just going to jump right to qualifying right now. I think the AI is set to 105, but even at that level, I was still running into AI cars on track, which just annoys the hell out of me. But we do get 2 decent runs off the AI. I messed up my second run, I believe. So here, I think I'll go through the setup here for you to look at. It's going to go by pretty quick, so just pause it if you need to. But the most important thing is the aerodynamics and suspension there. It's a little bit different than the regular esports setup. A couple little changes in the other areas as well, so just pause through that little section and take a look at what I put on there. I'm pretty sure I just copied that off of one of the guys in time trials. I can't remember who it is, but just throw it on your car and give it a shot and see if it helps you out any. And like I said, it helped me jump up 1500 spots, so it definitely helped me out. I know there are a lot of straights at Bahrain, but there's also a lot of low and medium speed corners that medium and high speed corners that the higher downforce does really help you out on, and the higher rear wing gives you better traction out of the slower corners. Also, another tip at this track especially, I would not just do a flying lap going out into your hot lap, especially at tracks that have high tire wear. At Bahrain, I think by the time you get back to the starting line, your tires will be at 7 or 8%, depending on your setup. So definitely do the out lap yourself. Take it slow and try to minimize the wear on your tires. I think we're going a little bit too slow here and get a little bump from behind from the AI, but doesn't really cause our tires to overheat too much or add any more wear to them. But yeah, just watch out for the AI running into you. I'm not sure exactly what the temperature should be on the soft tires, but I think I try to aim for 86 or so. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard Jarno Opmeer say once in one of his videos, that he tries to make sure the tires at around 85, 86 for his qualifying runs, just to make them the most efficient. I'm sure it changes from track to track, but I just keep them at 86 everywhere just to be safe. I mean, it seems like it works for him, so. Yeah, watch your downshifts going into turn 1 here. You don't want to go down the gears too fast. Scrubs off too much speed. Try to keep as high of a speed through that corner as possible. Also, obviously, you can brake much later than the racing line suggests. And then just pretty much trying to keep it tidy and keep the minimum speed as high as possible around these corners here. Coming up to the infamous turn, I think it's turn 10, downhill left-hander here. Probably could carry a little bit more speed into there, but I generally overshoot if I try to take that in third. I think if you can hit it correctly, third is probably the fastest gear to be going through that left-hand turn, but I just drop it down that second just to be safe. I love this right-hand turn here. You can gain a lot of time through that corner if you hit it well. And then again here for the final corner, you can brake a lot later than the racing line suggests. Save yourself a few tenths. And then we end our first lap with a 125.5. Not too bad, actually. I think the top 3 or 4 in qualifying are below a 125. So a 125.5 actually would probably put you in the top, I think top 30 or top 40 probably. So now I'm showing you the end of my second run here. It was pretty poor. It looked like I wasn't going to beat my time, so I just jumped into the pit lane anyway. I suggest if you're ever on a lap, if you're doing like 3 or 4 laps, obviously your first one will be a safe run. But if you know that you're not going to beat your time anyway, just hop into the pit lane and put on new tires, just so you don't waste time. Obviously, if you don't and you cross the finish line, then you'll waste another lap's worth of time, and depending on how you guys schedule your quali runs, you'll waste a lot of time and probably won't get back in time to do an extra run at the end of quali. So if you know that you're definitely not going to beat it, just jump into the pit lane. I'm an idiot. I don't know why, but before this, I used to just complete every lap anyway, no matter how good or bad it was, and then I'd waste so much time just having to drive back to the pit. So definitely, if you're on a really crappy lap, just jump into the pit lane. Don't even bother crossing the finish line. You might get yourself another run towards the end of quali. So again, here is our final run. Picking to go out on my own for my out lap here instead of having the AI control it. Again, it saves on tire wear. You just kind of have to be careful to watch your fuel. You do want to burn off as much fuel as possible so that your car is a little bit lighter, but obviously burn off too much and then you might not have enough to complete your actual hot lap. So I usually just keep it in standard or lean and try to keep about a lap and a half worth of fuel just so that when you're on max you don't burn through all of it. So again, on this run, just watching the rear view mirror, making sure the AI doesn't overtake me. I'm going much slower just so that the guys in front can get far enough ahead that I don't suffer from dirty air. But you do have to watch out. Obviously the guys behind will either pass you or, like they did in the first lap, they'll just drive right into you. Luckily we didn't get any damage and we can still go out on our hot lap, but if they do knock you into the barriers, you might lose your front wing or something like that, or give you a puncture, so just be careful. Going really slow up until about this left-hand turn right here. Generally, if I get to this left-hand turn and just drive normally, the tire temps are pretty much where I want them to be, so just keep them in lean anyway, just so you don't put too much heat into the tires. But yeah, as you can see, we're at about 86 right now, so as long as we don't push it too hard, we should have our tires in the best temperature range. So now starting our final run, I think the delta goes red. Never a good sign. I hate it when I start off a lap with a red delta. So again, just drawing your attention to the downshifts there. Don't blast it down all the way down to second. Drop down to fourth or third, and then put a little pause in between the last downshift to maintain as much speed as possible. We do lose a little bit of time going into the corner, but on exit we gain it all back, and miraculously now we are just gaining time. We're at about 2/10 now, coming into the most difficult corner. This is where I generally lose time most of the time, but it wasn't too bad. We maintained our delta to our fastest lap. I think we're actually up maybe by a hundredth or so. Again, this corner here, brake later than the racing line suggests. Put it up into fifth as soon as you can and try to go flat out as quickly as you can. I do short shift up to fifth for that right-hander there, give me a little bit of extra traction. It generally helps out most of the time. And then on this final corner here, I don't know where we found all that time, but by the time we've crossed the finish line, we are 0.43 seconds faster than our first lap, which is good enough for almost a 125 flat. I think we're maybe a hundredth or two away from a 125 flat. Oh, okay, about half a tenth away from a 125. But yeah, I was surprised at that final lap. Good enough for fifth place. It is a Wednesday, and there's a good amount of people on there. As you can see, I'm pretty excited. I wasn't expecting to be that high on the timing charts, but pretty good run. I hope you guys picked up a tip or two in this video that'll help you out. Good luck in your practices, qualifying, and races. If you're on PC, hopefully I'll see you on a race in one of the races this weekend. I do apologize for the aspect ratio. I was playing around with the resolution and kind of screwed it up, but thanks for checking this video out. Stay tuned for more. Remember to eat your bok choy, and I'll see you in the next video. Please leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you think I've deserved it.